Hello to all my dear students. I am Deepen Singh. Welcome to all of you in our school SJEC e-learning YouTube channel. Student, this is your biology class for 9th. And in today's video, we are going to discuss our first chapter of syllabus, the cell, a unit of life. Means all living organisms are made up of a variety of body part. Means plants have roots, leaves, flower, food, wood, and in animal bones, flesh, blood, nerves, etc. are present. Though all these parts look very different, but they have one common feature. They are all composed of small units, tiny units called cells. However, many living organisms such as bacteria, amoeba, paramecium, chlamydomonas and many more are formed of only one cell. So let's start our today's chapter with a small introduction, the cell, a unit of life. A cell is the smallest part of the body of an organism which is able to carry out all the basic functions of life such as growth, metabolism and reproduction. A cell, therefore, is the basic structural and functional unit of all living beings. Clear? It means we can say that every organ of living being is made up of hundred of thousands of cells, and every function performed by an organism is ultimately the outcome of the activity of the cell only. So, what are the characteristics of cells? First of all, cells are the building blocks of all living beings, either they are plant or animals. Second one, a cell is known as or capable of independent existence and perform all the basic functions of life. Each and every organism start its life as a single cell, and each cell has its own life span. The old and worn out cells are continually replaced by new cells. These are the characteristic features present in a cell. Let's find out who discovered the cell and when he discovered. Means the cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. He examined a thin slice of cork under his microscope and observed that the cork was made up of a large number of compartments joined together as a honeycomb like structure, and these compartments were named cells. Clear? In the today, cell denotes the living contents or the protoplast. As we can see in the diagram, there is a honeycomb like structure as observed by the scientist Robert Hooke in a thin slice of cork. Here is also represent the Leeuwenhoek's simple microscope and Robert Hooke's microscope. And after the several generation, there is a light microscope invented by modern age. Clear? Now next is the cell theory. Next topic is the cell theory. First of all, cell theory was formulated by German botanist M.J. Sheldon and German zoologist Theodor Schwann. They formulated the cell theory for plant and animal respectively. And here are the some characteristic features which represent the cell theory. Very first point is the all organism are made up of cells, means the basic unit of structure, plant and animals. Cell is the basic unit of structure of all plant and animal. Second is the new cells are formed from pre-existing cells. The all cells are similar, and the cell is the basic unit of function because all the metabolic reactions take place inside the cell or inside the nucleus. Clear? Okay. Next topic is cell number, size and shape. Organism may have one cell or many cell in their bodies. Depending upon the number of cells, they may be unicellular if there is only one kind of cell is present, or multicellular is more than one kind of cells present in the organism, such as bacteria, yeast, paramecium. These are unicellular organism, because they are made up of only one cells, and most plants and animal as well as human being are made up of billion of cells. It means they are multicellular organism. Clear? And if we talk about number of cells present in human body, then a newly born human baby has approximately 2 trillion cells in its body. Clear? The next question is cell, how small or large they are. Cells are so tiny that they can be seen only through a microscope, such as Mycoplasma, a bacterium measuring 0.1 to 0.15 micron in diameter. Second, the longest cell are the nerve cells measuring up to 1 meter in length, and the largest cells are the ostrich eggs measuring about 117 to 135 in diameter. Clear? So there is a description of the shape of a cell is called the cell morphology. The most common cell morphology are cocci, spherical in shape, and bacilli, rod-like structure in their shape. Clear? Next topic is structural organization of cell. As we studied the structural organization of cell in our previous classes, like 7th or 8th standard, there are several cells combined together to form a tissue, and several tissue combined together to form an organ, then respectively organ system and a human body. In this lesson, we will learn the three basic parts of all cells. Means the cell have something called a cell membrane, a nucleus and cytoplasm. In these, we first discuss about the cell wall. It is found in all living beings, but in the case of cell wall, it is found in only and only plant cell. The cell wall surrounds the plasma membrane of plant cells and provide tensile strength and protection against mechanical and osmotic stress. It means we can say that it allow cell to develop turgor pressure, which is the pressure of the cell content against the cell wall, and allow the movement of molecule from one part to another. And this process is completed by two methods: diffusion and osmosis. In the process of diffusion, molecules of solvent migrate from their higher concentrated region to lower concentrated region, while in the case of osmosis, the movement of water molecule from the region of higher concentrated region to lower concentrated region with the help of semi permeable membrane. Now the topic is what is a cell membrane. Means the cell membrane, it is also known as the plasma membrane. It is a double layer of lipids and protein that surrounds a cell and separate the cytoplasm, the content of the cell, and from its surrounding environment. It is selectively permeable, means it allows some molecules to go through this, but it doesn't allow the other molecules which are not applicable or relevant with the process. Clear? Now the question is, what is the function of plasma membrane? So first of all, it is a semi-fluid content of the cell and give a definite shape to the cell. It also functioned as a mechanical barrier, protect cell content and maintain the internal environment of the cell. The next and most important part of the cell is a nucleus. It is also known as the control center of the cell. It is a membrane-bound organelle that contains the genetic material DNA of eukaryotic organisms. As we know, DNA is the hereditary material which transfer the characters from parents to offspring, means from one generation to another generation. Clear? And it stores the cell's hereditary material or DNA, and it coordinates the cell activities which include growth, intermediary, metabolism, protein synthesis and reproduction. Cell division. Clear? The nucleus is composed of nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, nucleolus and chromatin fiber, as we can see in the diagram. And it was discovered by scientist Robert Brown in 1831. There are several nuclear pores present in the membrane which allow the exchange of material between the nucleus and the cell cytoplasm. Next and important function is nucleus is it plays an important role in cell division and regulate all the life related processes of the cell. That's why it is known as control center of the cell. Next, protoplasm and cytoplasm. First of all, what is a protoplasm? The living substance of the cell bound by the plasma membrane is called protoplasm. Clear? It means we can say that protoplasm is the content of the cell, including the cell membrane, cytoplasm and cell nucleus. Whereas the cytoplasm is the jelly-like substance surrounding the nucleus within the cell membrane and contains the cell organelles such as mitochondria, ribosome, lysosome, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body and many more. Clear? Let's move on our very important topic in this chapter, which is cell organelles. Means cytoplasm contain many cell organelles. Each type of cell organelles has a characteristic shape and is specialized for a specific function. They are living parts of a cell, such described in a diagram. Means the cell organelles found in cytoplasm can be classified into three categories: double membrane bound organelles and single membrane bound organelles, and the last one is non-membranous organelles. Double membrane bound organelles differentiated into 5 parts such as endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, plastids, vacuoles and Golgi bodies, while the single membrane bound organelle is differentiated into a single cell, which is lysosome, while non-membranous organelles divided into 2 parts: ribosome and centrosome and centrioles. And we are going to discuss all these cell organelles one by one. First, we discuss about mitochondria. These are the membrane bound cell organelles that generate most of the chemical energy needed to power the cell's biochemical reactions. And the chemical energy produced by the mitochondria is stored in a small molecule known as adenosine triphosphate, ATP. Clear? Means mitochondria provide energy for various metabolic functions of the cell. For this reason, these are called powerhouse of the cell. As we can see in the diagram, it is a double membranous structure in which there are some ribosomes, there are some granules, DNA, and some Christie junctions are present. This diagram represents an internal structure of a mitochondrion under the microscope. Clear? Okay. Next is endoplasmic reticulum, which is also known as in a short form ER. A network of membranous tubules within the cytoplasm of a eukaryotic cell continues with the nuclear membrane. It usually has ribosomes attached and is involved in protein and lipid synthesis, and it serve multiple function, being important particularly in the synthesis, folding, modification, and transport of proteins. So we can say that on the basis of presence or absence of ribosome, endoplasmic reticulum may divide into following two parts: a rough endoplasmic reticulum in which ribosomes are present, while the smooth endoplasmic reticulum in which ribosomes are absent. What is the function of endoplasmic reticulum? It divides the cell into small compartments for different metabolic activities, and it is also associated with the synthesis and storage of material. Clear? As we can see in the diagram, there are two phases. In first phase, there are ribosome attached with the part known as rough endoplasmic reticulum, while the part in which no ribosomes are attached indicated that smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? Next, move on the next topic or next cell organelles, plastid. First of all, it is only present in plant cells. These may be oval, spherical, or disc shaped. Clear? Means plastid are a group of physiologically related organelles found in all type of plants and algae, and these are the sites of manufacture and storage of important chemicals compound used by cell. They often contain pigments, means responsible for the coloration used in photosynthesis, such as chloroplast, and the type of pigment in a plastid determine the cell's color. In plants, three types of plastids present are chloroplast, leucoplast, and chromoplast. But it is also differentiated to more parts, such as first of all, plastid is differentiated into proplastid. Then it differentiated into etioplast. Etioplast differentiated into three parts: chromoplast, chloroplast, and leucoplast. And leucoplast again divided into three parts: amyloplast, elaioplast, and proteinoplast. Clear? Next topic is Golgi bodies, means the Golgi apparatus. It is also known as the Golgi complex, Golgi body, or dictyosome, or simply the Golgi is an organelle found in most eukaryotic cells. The function of Golgi apparatus is to process and bundle the macromolecules like protein and lipid as they are synthesized within the cells, and it is a special portion of endoplasmic reticulum meant for cell secretion and first observed by scientist Camillo Golgi. Clear? It produces and stores cell secretions such as mucus, enzyme, and hormones, formation of lysosome, and formation of cell plate during cell division in plant cells. Here is a structure of Golgi complex in which two phases are involved: cis phase and trans phase. There are too much cisterns present in which newly formed vesicles are attached, and these vesicles, when detached from the Golgi apparatus, contain the secretory material of the cell. Clear? Okay, our next topic and most important topic is ribosome. As we know, ribosomes are granular particles scattered freely in the cytoplasm or attached to the surface of endoplasmic reticulum. Means, what is the function of ribosome? These are the sites for protein synthesis, hence they are also known as protein factory of the cell. After that, ribosomes are the macromolecular machines found within all living cells that perform biological protein synthesis. Clear? Next topic is there are the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, but we continue the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells and plant cells and animal cells in our next video. So student, thanks to watching my video, and if you like our way of teaching and the hard work, please subscribe us to learn more and be updated about your syllabus. Thank you for watching.